What are you waiting for on subscribing to Chat Sports as we're getting you all set for the NFL Draft? Daily coverage as we're talking about all the possibilities from mock drafts to potential trades, free agency moves, and more. Look, I know a lot of teams are kind of hitting the reset button as they head into the 2023 season. It's time for you to hit the subscribe button as we head into the 2023 season. Do it for me, please, for the latest happenings around the National Football League. Subscribe today. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. Turn on notifications as well. All right, let's go ahead and start with the questions this week. This first one comes from Shock Universe. Could New England trade up and get Anthony Richardson? So at the time of this taping, Belichick seems to be not happy with Mac Jones, in particular with how he handled last year when they were struggling, and didn't like that he sought outside help and wants the control and all that. With that said, Anthony Richardson, I don't think that's the direction necessarily Belichick is looking towards either. You look at where New England's at in their pick. They pick inside the top 15. Anthony Richardson is expected to be a top 4, maybe 5 pick. It would take a ransom to move up. And Belichick, traditionally speaking, is a trade-down guy, not a trade-up guy. I don't think New England is trading up for Anthony Richardson. We'll see. Next question comes from, let's see, the question is, should the 49ers draft Tyler Steen in right tackle? I think it's supposed to mean Tyler Steen out of Alabama at right tackle. Tyler Steen, I believe, is who you're referring to. But, yes, you look at this 49ers team, you got one of the best left tackles, if not the very best left tackle of all time in Trent Williams, right? And now you might be trying to find on that other side, that right tackle, a partner of some sorts. That might be your guy, potentially speaking. The 49ers don't have a whole lot of needs. Think about that. You have this Niners team that is so loaded, especially on defense, you're playing almost with house money of some sorts. That could be a possibility. We'll see. Christopher, what's going on with Mac Jones? Where do we start with Mac Jones? I'll say this. And I'm on our Patriots channel as well, Patriots Today, which you should subscribe if you're a Patriots fan. Mac Jones, I like Mac personally. I think that he has got a chance to take a big step up with Bill O'Brien as his OC this year. I think that there's just a little bit of impatience, a little anxiety of some sorts. Let Mac cook. Mac could have a turnaround year. Settle down, everybody. Settle down. Mac could be just fine. Style, what's your early Super Bowl prediction? No. Not now. Not now. Let's get through the draft, please. With that said, as at the moment, the two teams to beat are the Chiefs and the Niners. That could change. Those are the teams to beat right now. That's who I would say, if you force me, those are the teams I'd be leaning towards, but we'll see. Predict the Super Bowl matchup for Super Bowl 58. What do you think? What do you think about that? Chiefs and Niners. We saw that a couple of years ago. I think the Bengals and the Bills are going to make some noise. The Eagles aren't going away. Heck, the Seattle Seahawks are much improved, and they already took a big step up this past year. Predict the Super Bowl matchup. It's our pinned comment today. Let me know in the comments section what the Super Bowl matchup for Super Bowl 58 will be if you had to pick right now. Super chat from Chad Jones. Who? Chad Jones. With a $5 super chat. Bang! Says, should Miami trade Myles Gaskin and Cedric Wilson, get Dalvin Cook? What is your opinion on the O-line and Chris Gear's unwillingness to get better line help? So I was looking at this a while back, and the numbers from the Dolphins offensive line, like, if you're not a Dolphins fan and haven't seen this, I encourage you to go look. Look at the number of times Tua has been sacked in the last 2-3 seasons. I mean, in all honesty, no wonder he's gotten hurt as much as he has, with as much as this guy's been hit. it has been painful. They need a lot of help on that offensive line. Now, as far as the other thing goes, trading for Dalvin Cook and all that, I don't like making trades and giving multiple-year contracts for running backs, those second and third contracts and all that, and that applies to Dalvin Cook here as well. No, I'm not trading for Dalvin Cook. If you're the Dolphins, do your scouting reports, do your homework, go find a day 3 running back. That's where the value is, my guy Chad Jones. From one Jones to another. That's what I'd do if I was the Dolphins. Evan, will Minnesota trade up for Will Levis? Well, I would hope not. As I stated earlier, I think Will Levis is stiff. I see Blaine Gabbert when I see Will Levis. I have concerns, major concerns about Will Levis. You got Cousins on contract still. Minnesota, you look at where they're at. They are closer to the top than they are the bottom. If I'm the Vikings, I'm still holding off on getting that next quarterback developed and all that, and still roll with Cousins for the time being and try to maximize talent around Cousins. I don't think they'll trade up, but who knows, really. Chad Jones again checks in. Do you think teams are setting I think that means precedent, with Lamar because they don't want to pay guaranteed money like he wants? Chad, absolutely they are. There has been some collusion or some type of demand of sorts that have come from the powers that be in the NFL that said, look, no more. No more of this guaranteed contract nonsense, making an example out of Lamar. But the truth of the matter is, while Lamar might not be getting that guaranteed money, someone else is going to. You mean to tell me that the Bengals aren't going to do what they can to lock up Joe Burrow, or the Chargers with Justin Herbert, or even the Eagles with Jalen Hurts? Those guys are going to get guaranteed money. Lamar, bad timing of sorts. Doesn't look like he's getting the guaranteed money, but you wait, and there's going to be other guys that get theirs. No matter what the mainstream media and the propaganda out there from NFL teams tell you, somebody at some point is going to get that guaranteed money besides just Deshaun Watson. The NFL Draft just around the corner, and you're in luck because draft hats are on sale now while supplies last, whether it's the flat bill or the baseball cap version. Maybe you're a Falcons fan. Maybe you're a Broncos fan. Whatever your team is, we got hats in all shapes and sizes for all 32 teams on sale now. The draft, they're going to be wearing these hats. Your future rookies for your favorite team. When it comes draft night, they're going to wear the same, there they are, exact hats that you're seeing on your screen right now. So when you go to your draft party and you're eating your nachos and you're hanging out with your buddies and you're hoping you're not yelling at the TV too much because you hate the pick, at the very least, you can wear the same hat that you'll see those rookies on your favorite team have, and you can have it before draft night. What are you waiting for? Get yours now. Chatsports.com/NFL Draft Hats. Get yours today, right in time for the draft. Might I add you? Chatsports.com/NFL Draft Hats. Next question. Who do the Texans take it to if Bryce Young is gone? I heard they do not want C.J. Stroud. Who'd you hear that from? Who's the hearings? Tell me these sources. Look, it's going to be Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. Carolina will get one. Houston will get the other. If you made me guess today, I would say Carolina probably goes with Young at 1. Stroud goes 2 to Houston. But if Carolina changes their mind, I think the order reverses. That's how I see this draft going, is the Texans are kind of left with whatever Carolina doesn't want. One of those two. I don't know where you're hearing this. Not saying you're lying or anything, but that's not something I've heard. We'll see. Epic Jet wants to know, what should the Browns do with their 2 third-round picks? Should they move back into round 2 for a linebacker, or just stay where they sit and pick the best player available? It's hard to really say without knowing what the draft board looks like. I think that's all situational. If there's somebody that the Browns feel like they can't live without that's in that second round, then yeah, absolutely, you could move up. The main thing I'll say this is you have flexibility with having multiple third-round picks there that you could make that move potentially to that second round or whatever it may be. Right now, I think you just be patient. You see how the board works and go from there as far as that goes. But thanks for the question there. Maddenfield writes, will the Cowboys make any trades or signings? Cowboys typically don't like to sign players in free agency, but trades, that could happen. Don't rule out a DeAndre Hopkins trade. I think that might happen. You didn't get OBJ after all the love fest, all the recruiting, the courtside seats at the Mavs game and all that. Don't expect Jerry to just sit idly by and be okay with that. Might make a move for Dion. Al writes, Mac Jones trade next offseason. Where could he end up or wind up? Yeah, certainly possible. This year there's a lot of pressure on Mac Jones to succeed and to perform. I'm a fan of Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones can do just fine. That he's got a new OC. He's got some new weapons there with Juju and company. If he's given the right chance, Mac Jones can be the New England Patriots quarterback for the very long time. But we'll see. Nothing is guaranteed with that, though. It's make or break. If he doesn't play well, he is getting traded or cut. Who is the best quarterback in the NFL right now? What do you think? Mac Jones? That's a joke. Is it Patrick Mahomes? I think it's Patrick Mahomes. Maybe you think it's Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Who is the best quarterback in the league? Tell me who you think the best quarterback is in the comment section below. Time for a couple more questions here. Let's go to Arthur. Arthur writes, if Hendon Hooker does go round 1, where do you think he will go? So I think that if Hendon Hooker goes round 1, you're talking about the back end of the first round, okay? So thinking of teams that could be in the quarterback market there at the end of the first round. Seattle comes to mind. That might be one. If things were to fall through on the Lamar Jackson situation there in Baltimore, the Ravens could be one of those teams potentially. Maybe it is the Vikings for the potential replacement for Cousins of some sorts. Those are some of the teams, the back end of the first round teams where Hooker can take like a redshirt year essentially, recover from that ACL, and then go from there. Parlay, who will Carson Wentz put on the hot seat this season? Oh, man. Who's going to sign Carson? Does anyone want that backwards hat guy? Shout out Colin on that. Carson, I got a lot of questions about. Not only is he not a good quarterback, I don't know how good of a leader he is necessarily. We'll see. Carson Wentz, I've been very disappointed in. He hasn't been the same player since that ACL injury he suffered when he looked like an MVP caliber quarterback. I don't know who's going to want him. In fact, actually, Kansas City might be a good fit potentially. They need a backup quarterback. Think about teams that need backup quarterbacks, but in a situation where you hope you wouldn't have to play Carson Wentz. Team to beat is the 49ers. You're smoking something. What? A $2 super chat. Thanks for the super chat. But smoking something. They were in the NFC Championship last year. They're bringing almost everybody back. I host Seahawks today, okay? I'm being real with y'all, okay? The Niners are something special. They are the team to beat in the NFC. Eagles lost a lot, okay? And the Niners have multiple quarterback options. It almost doesn't matter who plays quarterback for the Niners. Michael writes, who will be the team that trades up to number 3? Well, I got a couple possibilities. And we talked in the PFF mock draft this week about some of those teams. Indianapolis is one of those teams that comes to mind. Tennessee. I think this might sound a little bit crazy. Don't rule out the Bears of getting in the mix of some move around of some sorts where maybe a team trades to the Bears spot and moves back up. I don't think the Bears are getting a quarterback, but I think the Bears, they sound like they're open to trade possibilities. Maybe there's a situation where the Bears get in the mix to shake up this trade situation stuff. So Maybe even the Lions potentially to sit behind Jared Goff. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. Indy seems to be the favorite. I don't see the point of Stroud in the top 10. He's not been better than Price, doesn't have higher upside than Levis or Richardson. Teams picking a quarterback, I think that means quarterback, aren't usually good. Why not bank on the upside? What are you talking about? What are you saying here? Are we not watching the same quarterback? C.J. Stroud looked excellent last year. And in all honesty, he had the best year of any of the quarterbacks that we saw this past season. He looks the part. He looks like potentially a better version of Dak, as far as I'm concerned. C.J. Stroud has got the talent. He's got the arm accuracy. He's got the arm strength. He can move around the pocket a little. That to me, C.J. Stroud, I don't know why the negative on C.J. Stroud. The upside's there. We've seen it. Eagles, another $2 super chat. Eagles did not lose a lot. You're reaching, bro. What? Are we just going to downplay Javon Hargrave here? TJ Edwards? Why? I mean, come on now. Marcus Epps? I could keep going. Miles Sanders? Are we really just going to say that's not a lot? Come on, man. I like the super chat. We can have this discussion. But are we really trying to pretend that those weren't key pieces to their run to the Super Bowl? Come on now. Come on, my guy. Come on.